All right, Sahil, we are good to go.
Yeah. So very good evening, everyone. So this side Sahil, and this is the final session of Flutter Festival at GDSC PCCoE. And in this session today, we are going to talk about future of Flutter. We are very grateful for the audiences and the students which have participated in the Flutter session of the series of 4 sessions. It was great interacting with you. We had doubts regarding Flutter, what is the Flutter actual core of Flutter, Dart, and different technologies in Flutter. We went over the base. We started with the basics of Dart, then we went over the basics of Flutter, then we built our own Flutter application, then we went over the directory structure of Flutter. In the last session, we went over the integrations in Flutter. So now, I guess whatever sessions we had over the last 4 sessions, this is a wrap up session for everything. And in this session, we are going to just wrap this thing up for you, and we are going to let you know that what is actually the future of Flutter or how you can get beneficial from Flutter. If you have done the last 4 session and very keenly listen to every point, you might know that yeah, the technology is very powerful and there are different things which are possible in this technology. But in this session, the motive will be that to understand what is the future of Flutter and yes, how we can proceed it further. Because if you have completely done this thing, means for example, if you have completely learned Flutter till now, or if you might be learning Flutter till now, so what next? How to go ahead with Flutter? So as our basic template, as always, it is there. First, we will be going towards the agenda. So agendas for today's session is first is why we are very bullish on Flutter. Why we think that Flutter is going to erupt like it's like a volcano, or how why it's going to give a bullish run. The second is means agenda is means the topic today is future of Flutter. So backend and Dart is in point. How we are going to discuss that thing. Third thing is Fuchsia OS. Uh, the terms can sound a bit cumbersome for you or overwhelming at first, but they are all easy, and we are going to explain you in bit by bit. The fourth thing is UI for embedded system, and the fifth thing is good job opportunities. Okay, so starting with the first thing is why we are very bullish on Flutter. So as we have covered in the first session that Flutter is a good technology and it's gaining very popularity among developers. So bullishness on Flutter is predicted by a data which is provided by the sources. If we talk about sources, so first thing, let me very clearly explain you guys that in this session, it's only I'm going to talk, and there's no extra slides which are going to give you some information. So it's a very quite informative session. So we'll try to keep it as short as possible to maintain everything means enthusiasm in you guys. So I'll be very crisp and short, but very on point. So why we are bullish on Flutter? So as the trend, we see the trend here in what do we say uh, in the coming development technology that developers are shifting to Flutter. Why they are shifting to Flutter? That is not the point of the session. We have already covered that point, that why everyone is trying to shift to Flutter, and as the technology is very easy, the 5 pillars of Flutter, we have discussed everything. So the major reason of bullishness is that only because the data is showing that it is growing at a tremendous rate of 200% or maybe 300%, and in future it is going to double or quadruple like this. So the opportunities for that in Flutter are going to be very high. So this is the reason why we are bullish on Flutter. And the next four slides which we are going to discuss is the thing that you will understand why we are bullish on Flutter. Okay, so the first point let us discuss is backend and Dart. So let us divide this term in two parts, backend and Dart, and let's then combine both the things, and let's make sense how does it actually uh, helps to explain future of Flutter or Dart. So first of all, let us understand what is backend. So backend is the thing which helps our server to pertain or sustain the request from the front end. So without a backend, there is no system or no such thing. This is very basic thing which I am explaining to you. Without a backend, there is no such thing an application which works on. So backend is very clear what the thing is sitting in the backend, which is communicating to a database, which is handling the API request, which is handling the load balancing, everything which is working, which is not actually visible by the user is called as backend. Second thing is that is the language which we have talked already about. So now let us merge that. But before merging that also, we'll go over a point that till when that was not there, backends were written. Backends were written in different language. For PHP, Perl, Rails, the backends were written in that language. Backends were written in Node.js, which is a very powerful asynchronous programming language, and different technologies were used to write backend. But how that is going to hammer inside the backend thing is now we are going to understand. As a research done in 6 months back, a researcher told that the same speed which we get from a backend in Node.js can be achieved in Dart with some more additional features. So this is a very big statement. Let us. I'll try to skim it down. The researcher did what he did was that he just wrote a backend server in Dart and wrote a backend server in Node. The code was almost means of same code lines because they both work on the asynchronous programming thing. But he saw that while writing the code in Dart, there are many features which are extra, or the features which are because Dart is a new technology, and so there are many features which we can use in Dart but not in Node.js. We are just not comparing with Node.js, and we are not having a differentiation with Node.js and Dart. Just we are saying that the backend in Dart is also possible. Huge organizations like Google also, they are planning, or they have already shifted their backend in Dart. I would say Dart is a language which will be an opportunity for the Flutter developers, as Flutter will be increasing day by day and the developers on Flutter will be increasing. Companies are going to hire developers which can run their backend in Dart. So why it is like that means the backend in Dart is very famous because uh, we talk about single language code base. So Dart is the language which is powering Flutter. So Dart can be used as a backend. So this is the point we are going to make here, is that backend in Dart is in technology which is going to erupt like a volcano. This is the main thing, or which we can say the biggest crux if you are going to go into a development phase. So Dart is a very biggest phase. There are some cons also. For example, this community is very small, and if you face any issues or some irregularities in the devs or the builds, so the help can be limited. But yeah, as we told that any technology which is going to erupt in future, in start it has nothing. So you have to give your everything to what do we say, master in it. Once you master inside it, and then you are means ready to erupt like a volcano. So this was the first thing, means the very first pillar or the very first hike which Flutter's language Dart is going to have is backend in Dart. So the second most biggest hike, or which we can say the hike even bigger than the backend in Dart, is Fuchsia OS. So I think that you might guys know that what is Fuchsia OS. So Fuchsia OS is a new OS built. This is actually a project, operating system project, which was actually started by Google in 2013, which told that we are building an operating system which is an open source operating system, which is a combination of Linux, power of Linux, which means on which Android is built on, and the power of UI thing. So Fuchsia OS is going to replace Android in some time. This is the prediction of Google, or this is what Google is saying. So as of now, if someone wants to make an application for an Android app, so they have to write the code in native Java. But in future, if anyone wants to write an code for Android, they have to learn Flutter. So Flutter is the main thing for Fuchsia OS. Like Java or Android development is for Android, Flutter will be the same thing for Fuchsia OS. So this is a very big statement by Google. In 2013, they started their project on Fuchsia OS, but in 2016 they made it private due to some security reasons. But yes, the reports are saying that the development is going on in a very rapid pace of Fuchsia OS. The OS will be ready and out till 2025, and when this will be out, every single development will be done in Flutter. So the role or jobs of what do we say, Android developers are going, is that the opportunities for the future Flutter developers is very high. The second point here in the Fuchsia OS is that if you want to develop an OS version, or if you want to develop OS thing, so then also Flutter can help you here, because what do we say? Once we start the development in what do we say? Once we start the development in Fuchsia, so the Fuchsia development will be powered by Dart language only. Because if we see the code base of Android, the native Android in which the applications are developed, we do not see that actual Java code is written. But in Fuchsia OS, there means there are reports which states that yeah, the language of the code or the code base will be in Dart. So the opportunities on actual development of Fuchsia OS are also large. So this was the second thing, because you might think this as an opportunities, because just think of a situation where you have your own OS and we are building on that. So Fuchsia OS is the OS which will be built and on which the applications of Flutter will be built here. So this is the second thing, because in complete new space will be there for the developers, means you can understand that the means Android is almost the biggest code base till now available on which the developers are developing, and Fuchsia OS will be replacing Android. So how much pressure on the Fuchsia developer, or how much steps it has to make to come inside the market and for everyone to accept it, and for that everyone is going to require tons of Flutter developers, and development is going to increase in a rate which has never been seen by anyone. This was the second point. The third point is also very important: UI for the embedded system. So first, let us understand what is embedded system. The embedded system is a system which is embedded in something. For example, you take an example of AC, and you AC means air conditioner, and on the air conditioner you see the panel or palette which is showing as 22 degrees Celsius. It shows temperature and different things. So till, or for example, any other example is for you. If for example, if you see the washing machine panel or any other microwave oven panel, they have embedded system inside that. So for UI, they use very lame technology or layman technologies, which we can say LCD typing, 8-degree prototyping. These are some technologies they are using. But this technologies in means they are very harsh to the developers. While a report which came in 2017 said that the toughest part for an hardware company is to hire an embedded system developer. So just for UI purpose, because there are so many developers and work as done completely on embedded system, but to develop an UI for embedded system is very tough. So now how Flutter can help here, and how the market is very big for you. Just first of all, there's a question you guys need to ask yourself: that are you happy with the UI which is present in the embedded system? I guess 99% people are going to say no, and 1% have not seen the UI of the embedded system. So, so the UI in the embedded system, talk about EC, talk about any device which have an embedded system, is very conservative and primitive. It just have numbers, it just have text, and different fields which are just enough to explain the, what do we say, objective of the hardware device. But it is not enough. The This is not the end of the embedded system development of UI. So new generation or generation Z or the new generation are trying to means that they need to have a UI which is very interactive with the user, to increase the, what do we say, to increase the communication procedure, or to have a two-way communication, or just to impress the users. So this is the thing for UI embedded system UIs will require. So this is where Flutter comes in and helps us. So Flutter tells that this framework is able to, what do we say, this framework is able to build itself or build the UI on just a screen. If you present, or if you just have a screen which can build a UI, Flutter framework is ready to install it. So in the latest release of Flutter 2.10.0.3, it was mentioned that Flutter can be used for embedded system officially now. Means for till now, the Flutter was actually used by what do we say, mobile, iOS, web, Android, and desktop and web. So this was the thing. But now they are Linux also. But now they are also means going to think about embedded system, how you can embed a Flutter application or Flutter UI. Just if you talk about UI, how you are going to embed a Flutter UI inside your hardware devices. So for the embedded system is a big space in which you can go and have a development. Yeah. So this is also means great opportunities. I think these opportunities might be hidden from you because uh, this is a very new space. Means the future of Flutter is very new to all of you guys. So first we talked about Dart as a backend. This was very new. Fuchsia OS not yet. What do we say? Not yet made public. UI for embedded system is in development phase. So you do not think of this as an project which you are going to the next term. You just think of it this is a research project, and think like that. You are investing in something in which in long term is give will give you returns, and the returns are what we are showing on the screen. The last point here is good job opportunity. So this is the very means this wraps everything under a single umbrella, that good job opportunities will be there. We talk about Dart as the backend. We talk about actual Flutter development. We talk about UI for embedded system. We talk about for OS. But what is the major goal? So for everything, there will be good job opportunities. And also in the previous sessions, we have seen that uh, whenever we talk about the job opportunities in any domain, job opportunities come with the technology. So for technology here, technology is ever expanding. So job opportunities are also ever expanding. We talk about React Native, and we also had in comparison the previous slides that previous session, sorry, that in comparative to React Native or Xamarin or the languages or framework like Flutter, Flutter is growing at the rate of 60% more than that. So job opportunities are surely increasing in this space. And talking about in future also, this are going to increase only because as we have had a look in this session, there are many interesting things which are going to come up, and these things are actually going to help the developers to develop more things. Flutter also is planning to go with Flutter 3.0, means in which in that thing there might be some new things which will be coming up. So the space for jobs in Flutter is now just started. Just think of this, that it is just started, not yet means uh, fulfilled. There are need of Flutter developers here. The companies are going to hire Flutter developers. Startups are going to hire Flutter developers, and in future also job opportunities will be going to increase. Not only in the development space, also, but what do we say? But also in this actual development of the OS operating system or the Fuchsia, also the job opportunities will be there. So this was about the job opportunities, and actually this was a very crisp session about what is going to be the future of Flutter. I hope this session was very short, but uh, you guys understand the intent of the session. First of all, that backend and that is very new thing. This you can learn and implement now. Also, this is already working. Few companies are also working on this. The Fuchsia OS is in backend and working on Fuchsia OS is going on in Flutter, and the Google team is maintaining this thing. These are the inside reports. UI for embedded system. This is not yet made public to the users, but this is a technology which is going to groom inside. Because why this is tough is because embedded systems are very small and the memory space is very less. And the good job opportunities we were talking about this session, this thing along the, I guess, all the 5 sessions. So to wrap this thing up, to wrap this fifth session and the, what do we say, all the series of 5 sessions, I would like to say that do not think of a technology, or what do we say, Flutter, as just a technology to learn. Think of a technology to solve a problem. We see that to solve the problem of a developer and ultimately solve the problem of a user. So if you're talking about any technology, we talk about Flutter or any other technology. Just think that we are going to solve a problem, or we are going to make a mark in anything, then automatically the job opportunities and many other future tech opportunities are going to come your way. So if there are any questions, we are ready to hear from you, and we are very grateful for the large audience base we got for this Flutter festival. And I hope you guys all might have learned from this. And yeah, this was it from my side. And if there are any question and answers, I am very keen to help, or ready to answer. We also got some questions on our social handles and our Discord group. We also clarified the doubts there. But if there are any other questions now also, because after the session there are many questions for the students. But if you are having questions now also, we are ready to help. And in future also, if there are any questions, we'll be ready to help. So if there are any questions, you can just ask them.
I guess we can just wait for a couple of minutes. If there
Yeah,
are
yeah,
no
Rohit,
doubts,
yes,
we
for
can.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll be waiting for 2 minutes, guys. If you have any questions, just please let us know. You can feel free to type in chat box also, or yes, just unmute yourself and ask the question with us. Yeah, any questions? You just wait for more 30 seconds.
actually, someone had doubt that I mean, if they want to search for job opportunities or internship opportunities for Flutter, where they can find them. Sahil, I guess you are the perfect person to handle this.
Yeah, yeah. So thanks for asking this doubt because I wanted to talk about this. Thanks, Rohit, for taking it from the chat box. I'll explain now. So if you are guys thinking that to search for an opportunities, you won't be searching for an opportunity in actual tech because talking about Flutter, you can go on LinkedIn and search for opportunities. There is a job session. You can go on internship or any other platform which is available today for all the users, or just you can go on Google and just type it for there. I would suggest that there are first, if you want to start your internship in Flutter or any job opportunity or a full time job also in Flutter, just start with the basic startup because they are going to give you a very large amount of exposure in this. They are going to build from yourself. Then in ahead, if you want to go ahead and just think of to making an app to a professional level, then you can go for the future opportunities. But basically, go on any of the platform and search for Flutter jobs. There are ample amount of Flutter jobs, as we have seen in I guess third or second session also that there were we had a matrix to search from where like from Internshala there was a metric, from Google there was a metric, and in there are many job opportunities. It's just that you have to find for the opportunity on the right time and you have to apply for them. If you have enough amount of knowledge and you have done enough amount of projects, you will be just getting the job opportunity. I hope I'm able to clarify it out. So that to make it short, on Google you can search, on LinkedIn you can search in the post section, and on Internship or any of the platform where internships are allowed, you can search that.
Perfect. Uh, I
Yeah,
guess there are no more doubts currently. So,
yeah. Then we
should
can wrap
we
this thing.
wrap this Flutter Festival?
Yeah, it was fun, guys, to interacting with all of you, and thanks again. So this is Sahil signing off from the Flutter
Mm.
session.
Thank you, Sahil. I mean, it has been a wonderful journey. And of course, the Flutter festivals were amazing with an amazing facilitator like you. So, thank you for everything. Uh,
Thank you very much, Rohit.
Thank you, everyone. Goodbye. Have a good day. Enjoy your day.